Good morning, fellow peeps and folks. I'm Allie, and today we are watching RWBY Fairy Tales, episodes 4, 5, and 6. And we're starting with the Indecisive King. It's good that Ospen narrates, because, you know, I put on the green stuff for him. I didn't really comment on that last time, I think. I just took it as granted that Shannon McCormack would do the narration on those. But, you know, it's Oz. But yeah, last time we got 3 of the fairy tales, Grimchild, Hunter's Children, and The Shallow Sea, which were all very different and interesting in their own ways. So I am kind of looking forward to see what we have in store now and how this will be different and how this will relate to the things we always wanted to know, or to the story, how that will help us, and I don't know, or how it will just entertain someone. We don't know. So yeah, the Indecisive King is gonna be the first one of this set. A kingly gift turns out to be more than it seems. Okay, I mean, I have no idea what they will refer to. I am pretty sure that this is also one of the fairy tales in this book, but of course I have only read The Warrior in the Woods, as I said last time. So we'll see. But yeah, I guess we'll just jump right in. So, yeah, the Indecisive King. Let's see what we'll get from here. I have no theories, nothing whatsoever, so let's jump in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Is knowledge the answer to all your problems?
Surely
Surely
not.
being more informed leads to smarter choices. But even the wisest among us have limits.
Yep.
What happens to the mortal mind when it has more knowledge than it is capable of bearing?
Okay.
Your Grace,
That was a crown.
This tree fell on my fence and broke it.
There was a great storm! It's not my fault the tree fell! The wind blew it over!
Here is what you shall do. Chop and mill the tree, and use it to build a new fence. Any wood that remains, sell at market, and divide the profit between you.
Thank you very much, Your Grace.
You are truly as wise as they say.
Alright.
And so the king commands.
That's gotta be a nice job, just saying
Please,
that.
I must see the king. Please, Your Grace, I need your help.
Tell me,
Alright.
what has befallen you?
Creatures of Grimm destroyed my entire village. Now my family is dead and I have nothing left. I don't know how to go on.
You must keep living. And as you have nowhere else to go, please show her to one of our many empty rooms. She may
Well
stay
done.
here as long as she likes.
That's nice. Just giving her a home. Okay, who are you with your cloak?
What troubles you, citizen?
Your Grace, your wisdom and judgment is famous in my kingdom, and so I bring before you a marvel of the world. This crown is no ordinary crown, you see.
Of course.
But to truly understand how special it is, you must put it on.
Of course. Well.
No! It can't be. Where's that man? Find him!
Alright, well that was scary. For him, probably.
How can I aid you?
Your Grace, I have fallen in love, but he is very poor, and my father disapproves. Should I marry for love, or obey my father?
True love is a rare and wonderful gift. If you wish to be happy in this life, follow your heart.
And so, the king commands.
Yeah, the crown's still haunting
Wait.
him.
No, you cannot eat love. You cannot sleep in love's shade. Do
Why?
not marry him. Wait for a richer
He's being
man.
corrupted. He's being corrupted somehow.
And so,
Or he's seen something
it
that...
is commanded?
Oops.
I will see no one else.
Well, that changed. King is no longer
Why
holding
has the
court.
king closed his gates to his subjects? And who are they?
The king has come across an impossible problem, so he has summoned the wisest in the land to solve it.
Yeah. Doesn't really work, apparently. She's just standing in line. Just like she's supposed to, you know?
Who
He's
are
already
you?
getting gray hairs.
You cannot possibly help me.
You don't remember. Your Grace, you saved my life. And now it is my turn to help you. Please, what torments you so?
No, I cannot. It is far too great and terrible.
Share your burden with me. Let me wear the crown so I may understand.
What will happen to her when she does it?
I think I understand now. This crown, it gives a glimpse into the future, to a
Yes.
decision that must someday be made.
We have clearly seen vastly different visions. What this cursed
Yeah,
crown has shown me
probably.
is a distant crossroads. One with no solution, no way out that doesn't end in disaster.
But it is in the future, is it not?
Of course. But I now have the gift of time to find the right answer and avert the consequences.
That is no gift at all. If you only concern yourself with the future, you will miss the good things right in front of your eyes.
Alright.
Life is full of decisions, but you must trust yourself to do the right thing when the time comes. You must keep living.
That's what he told her.
This advice is very wise.
I heard it from a very wise man.
So,
And so, the wise king found an even wiser queen.
of course.
Looking to pick up some
So
new merch
that's
for the
the end.
holidays? Well, we
We
just
didn't see him
released
grow
new Ruby
old and be
and
like-
Red vs. Blue merch on the Rooster Teeth store. Even better,
So there might be
everything
more
on the
to the
site
story.
is 30% off through
Maybe,
November 29th.
or not.
So click the box below me to start shopping now.
Yep. Okie dokie. So, wow. Stuff fell down. So, the Indecisive King. AKA the King, the Crown, and the Widow. I mean, sure. That makes sense, knowing the story. Okay, so we got a picture of the king being all whatever. Another one. And of course the crown, which in this case has red stones. Ooh, well damn. almost seems like the story in the book is a lot darker, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe this is just a what could have been. I don't know. It ended pretty like a happy ending, more than I expected, because in the beginning we saw the king being like old and weathered with a crown, so I expected it to end on a darker note, but apparently we don't here. So the crown shows the future. And, of course, Oz was talking about knowledge and stuff. And technically the relic of knowledge is the lamp. But this is a crown. And a crown is also what the relic of choice is. And since the future showed him an impossible choice, I am inclined to think that this crown was actually the relic. Especially since, maybe, you know, in the book, not so, but the design that they chose here in the RWBY Fairy Tales, it had the colors. The gold and this turquoise blue. So, you know, it could mean something, it could just be something really different, but I would say it's probably connected to the relic, that it's probably the relic of choice. But yeah, pretty happy ending. King found his queen, the woman he helped, and, you know, who showed him that the future is the future, and, you know, we'll cross those bridges when we come to them, you know? And that's kind of the message here. So you lose sight of the present if you concern yourself too much with the future. So you can make plans, but you shouldn't forget what's, you know, there right in front of you. And it's kind of like a life lesson, you could say. I mean, most of them had life lessons in a way. So yeah, that's the Indecisive King. And the next one is going to be The Girl in the Tower. Not every story has a happily ever after. Yeah, we know. Because the repercussions of that story are still haunting our people now in the main series, you know? That's kind of what's happening. So this is, again, a little bit of a shorter one. But maybe just because we kind of have a few background things. But yeah, let's watch The Girl in the Tower. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's see Salem.
A long, long time
That's
ago,
nice.
A beautiful girl was locked in a tower by her cruel father.
Yep.
He was not always that way.
I like the style.
But when her mother died in
cogs.
childbirth, it devastated him.
Mm-hmm. Ouch.
He vowed he would never lose his daughter.
So
he
that's
locked her
the
away.
reason. Just too
Father,
protective.
Why won't you let me leave this tower?
Aww.
My darling, you are my most precious possession. I am protecting you from everything outside that could harm you.
Yeah. Not really the best
But I'll
decision.
be careful. I promise.
This was your mother's favorite tower. She loved gazing out this very window.
Well,
Why would you want to leave it?
I just wish I knew what life was like outside this room.
Since you cannot go out into the world, perhaps these will bring the world to you.
reading. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, what else can you do?
The
Find a
world
hobby.
in these books. What a marvelous place. Tomorrow I'll be 16, and I have never even stepped outside.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, what's the plan?
Thank you, dearest father, for these wonderful gifts.
Anything for my daughter on her 16th birthday?
There is one thing I still desire.
What is that, my darling?
Pen and paper, that is all. I have read every book in this castle, and now there are none left. I would like to write my own stories.
Well, I
It
mean,
shall be yours.
that can be seen metaphorical
I
too.
hope you will read these stories to me.
Of course, father. Once there lived a beautiful maiden locked in a high tower by her cruel lord father.
And the voice
She
is
longed
just
to
changing
experience the
more
world
and more into
outside,
the voice we know now.
But she was his prisoner. If only some brave, strong warrior would defeat the evil lord and free her at last, they would marry,
She's sending messages
inherit all of her father's riches, and live happily ever after.
And that's why Oz came.
Just as she planned. The story of the girl's tragic circumstances spread far and wide.
Well, that puts a new perspective in that story,
and
and
then
I
the
like
Lord's
it.
worst nightmare came true. One warrior after another arrived to challenge his might, steal the girl away from him. Many tried, and just as many fell to the Lord's powerful evil magic.
Yeah, that too.
Until one day, a brave new challenger came.
Hello.
This hero,
Hello, Ozma.
armed with his own powerful magic, at last defeated the cruel Lord.
Whoop, he's dead. And that's what we know.
You have rescued me from this castle, the girl said. So now it is yours. I only came to right a terrible wrong, the hero said. You rescued yourself. Where shall we go now?
Yep.
Wherever you like.
Those are the lines
You
we
are the
know.
one who has yet to see the world.
Yep.
And here we are at the end. This fairy tale is unique on Remnant, in that the protagonist writes her own story. And her own ending.
Yep.
Storytellers hold great power over their
Ooh.
audiences. The girl in the tower used her power and led many warriors to their deaths.
Oz?
We must read with some skepticism and decide the truth for ourselves. Because in real life, there is no happily ever after.
Well, damn.
Looking to pick up some merch for the holidays? Well, we just released new RWBY
Hi,
and Red
Oz.
vs. Blue
Nice
merch
to
on
see
the
you
Rooster Teeth
there.
store. And everything on the site is 30% off through November 29th. So click the box below me to start shopping now.
Alright, so that was... That was the girl in the tower. So we knew most of the story already. But we got a few tiny tidbits that really made it even more interesting, I think. You know, of course, the girl in the tower is featured too. Because why wouldn't you do that? Here, so we got a picture of the tower. Of course, here it's just a tower and not a whole castle. Then a door, probably locked. And that's it. Okay, I mean, sure. But yeah, so we knew that she was imprisoned. We got a little bit of a background as to why she was imprisoned, and it makes a lot of sense. Her father wanted to protect her. It's kind of, you know, a story that we have multiple times. You know, how with Sleeping Beauty, they wanted to protect her from getting stung with the spindle and all of that. Or, you know, just multiple things. There's a lot of, hey, I'm gonna imprison you just so you don't die, but I don't care if you're happy as long as you're alive. So that's like a little bit of a moral not so great. But we knew that she was imprisoned. Now we got a little bit of a motive, even though it doesn't make him that much more sympathetic. I mean, yeah, fine, but don't you see that your daughter was not happy? What I really liked about this, and I commented on it in the beginning, you know, of course she got older, but when she read the books and then started to write her own story, her voice just changed more and more into the one that we know now from Salem. So, like, of course, you got Jen making the whole voice stuff, but just getting more and more into what we know is just showing us the transformation, and that's great. And also, as a writer myself, I can definitely understand the thing of, I've read so many books, I want to write my own story now. Even though for her it was a lot more metaphorical, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make my own path. I'm gonna go out into the world, and I have to do something about it, because no one else is gonna do it. And, I mean, yeah, it's the thing we've heard from her at the end of season 6, of volume 6, I mean. If you want something done right, do it yourself, what Hazel said about what Salem was doing at the moment. So, yeah. She did it herself, yeah. So she was the one that sent out the messages that she was trapped in there. Of course, many people died, and then her father died in the end. So she already, before all that with the God of Light and the God of Darkness happened, before all that thing, she did accept, you know, the sacrifices of other people for her freedom. So, like, the corruption had already started a little bit. So yeah, but I like the fact that she actually took matters into her own hands, and the reason why all those people came to rescue her was because she asked them to, basically. Because she was like, yeah, I can do this, I can make the message heard, and, you know, it's her taking as much initiative as she can in that moment. And that's what Osmond says too later, being like, yeah, it's the one where the protagonist actually, you know, writes her own story, takes matters into her own hands. Of course, in the end, that kind of turns out to be not that great, but you know, I like a protagonist who can act. An active one, who doesn't only let the plot happen to them, but, you know, who wants to change the plot. So I can respect that. So yeah, the last one is The Warrior in the Woods, the one which I have actually already read, you know, because it's the first one in the whole book. So we got, like, the picture of, you know, the woman in the darkness there, and a picture of her like that, and that's it. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting story. And it, you know, I don't know, if you watch this, you probably watched either the fairy tale episode or, you know, you've read the book or something. But the mention of the silver eyes, you know, we'll see. We'll see what they make of this. So let's go with The Warrior in the Woods in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, girls, one story and then it's bedtime.
Wow.
Okay? I mean
okay.
it.
Okay,
that's
Daddy.
different.
Is it the...
Yes, Yang, I promise you, it is filled with monsters and fighting.
Yes! Monsters are fighting!
All right, get in bed. Now.
Okay.
Long time ago.
So Ty.
There was a
Not
village
Oz.
surrounded by an enormous
That's
forest.
different.
A village that had been safe from the creatures of Grimm for as long as anyone could remember. It had been so long that the villagers believed that their forest had been charmed and would keep the monsters at bay so long as no one entered it.
Of course. And he's gonna enter. Because that's definitely the boy.
As time went on, the people became complacent.
Complacent?
Oh, careless.
Oh.
Okay, I like that. It's made for children, you know. I mean, like, in the Osmond notes in the book... Ooh, there she is. It was actually said that this was a story for children to, you know, to make them scared of going
home
alone.
You never saw me.
Wait!
Of course not.
Thank you.
When the boy made it back to his village, he told no one of the warrior who had saved him.
Of course not.
But he described the terrible monster he had narrowly escaped. Those who believed him took his safe return as proof that the woods protected them. Everyone continued living exactly as they had. Everyone. Except the boy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's going out again. Well, that was fast.
You again.
You remember me?
I remember everyone I've saved. And everyone I didn't. I told you not to come back.
I had to find you, to bring you this.
Yeah?
I'll take it if it means you'll leave.
Thank you.
Next time you enter the woods, you're on your own.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And a dagger is not enough for that. It's definitely very close to what I read. Yep.
I knew you'd still come to my rescue. Thank you.
I told you I wouldn't save you this time. Why do you keep coming back here?
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and ask. I don't promise an answer.
Why? Why do you live in the woods alone? Why do you risk your life to save strangers? Why do you protect the village? Why?
That's 5 questions. But they all have the same answer. I live here alone because I am alone. And as a general rule, I don't like people. Most of my own people were killed long ago. My family, everyone I've ever known is dead, and if there are other survivors like me, they're scattered all over Remnant.
Killed by the Grimm?
Murdered by other people.
Yeah.
Oh.
People.
But then why do you protect others?
Because I can. Because no one else will. And because some people are good, like you. And that gives me hope. Why do you keep coming back to the woods?
You've spent all these years looking after us. I thought maybe it would be nice if someone looked after you for a change.
Well, don't come back.
Of course, he would come back.
Of
but
course.
Not for another year. The villagers wondered why the monsters had returned, but the young boy, now a young man, he knew that they had never left. That until now, the village had been protected by an unseen warrior. And on the appointed day of his annual visit, he fought tirelessly to find her. Only this time, she was nowhere to be found.
Yep.
The woods would become too dangerous without their guardian. But the young man was going to do his best to protect the village in her place. And finally, tell others of her story, so they would always know who they had to thank for the many years of good days that they'd enjoyed.
Why did you keep going back there, year after year?
Because that's what I could do. Because no one else would. Because I fell for her. The moment I saw her silver eyes.
Mm-hmm. What's wrong, Daddy?
Oh, it's nothing, baby. Do you want to hear another story?
Nope. That one was perfect.
Hey, there is still time
Okay,
to
that
pick up
was
some Rooster
cute.
Teeth merch for the holidays. We've got a bunch of great new items, from hoodies to t-shirts to
That was
socks
cute.
and beer steins. Go ahead and click the box below me to start shopping now.
Alright, so those were the last 3 stories, and this was The Warrior in the Woods. Of course, I already read that story, so I knew about what this was referring to. And at first, when it started, I was like, okay, Tai is telling the story to Ruby and Yang? Why? Because all the others were Oz? I mean, it makes sense now. First of all, it's a story that is told to children, usually. That is technically described in the notes here. But also the whole mention of the silver eyes. And that was the main takeaway, you know. This warrior in the woods, this woman, was able to protect the whole village because she had silver eyes. And, you know, that's what made her strong enough to counter all those Grimm. And then she was gone. So, yay. I guess, you know, someone got to her. Yeah, her people were killed by other people. I mean, you know, we know who that might be referring to in the grand total. The Silver-Eyed Warriors were pretty much murdered on the spot as soon as they were found out, so it makes sense that she would live there like an hermit, and, you know. But the reveal of the silver eyes, you know, it was like, okay, I mean, that explains everything. And now here we got the whole part with actually having the transition from her silver eyes to Ruby's silver eyes. And Tai being like, well, I mean, that's a story that might be important. But Ruby didn't really get it. She didn't know. She only found out after the fall of Beacon. So yeah, that was interesting, and now I actually, you know, I understand why they would have Tai read this to the girls, because it does have a direct connection. So yeah. So, in those stories, now, we had a few mentions. We had the whole Grimmification thing. We had the teams. We had the Faunus. We had a relic, probably. We had the story of Salem. And we had Silver Eyes. So those are like very, like, a lot of key points in, you know, the whole story of RWBY and in Remnant. So it makes sense why they would actually, you know, take those fairy tales first. I don't know if there will be more in time. We do have still The Man Who Stared at the Sun is here, The Judgment of Faunus, The Infinite Man, The Two Brothers, of course, and The Story of the Seasons, we know those. The Gift of the Moon. So, those are still a few that we got. I mean, sure. We'll see. We'll see. But, yeah, I found it pretty interesting. You know, just a short, I don't remember the word, but, you know, just a few videos, 2 videos of just having a detour. That was the word. And see what else there might be in the whole Rooster Teeth RWBY universe. Next time it's gonna be back to Red vs. Blue, season 12. I'm curious because things have changed up a little bit at the end of season 11, but that's, you know, a thing for another video. So on this note, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!